Sir.
Morning.
Good morning,
Morning,
sir.
sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning to you all. Just give me a minute to share my presentation.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Man,
Is the presentation visible now?
It was earlier, but now, yeah,
Now,
it's
yes,
now
sir, we
visible.
can see.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so once again, a very warm welcome to all the participants. I hope the presentation is visible, I am visible, and I am properly audible.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Right. So let me very briefly and quickly introduce myself. This being our first session, my name is Amit Jain. I'm President and Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Rajasthan, and I'm associated with the training fraternity for last 25 years, and I've been a National Council member of ISTD. I've been a faculty for this diploma program, PGP program now for almost 20 years, and several batches I've dealt with. Several versions of the program I have seen, and I'm actively involved as a trainer and a corporate coach with several organizations spanning across domains and industries. And this is something that I do as part of my service to the society, because all of you are trainers already, and this program is generally taken up by people who are already in the field of training and development. They are very serious about it. They have been working in this domain for a long time, and that's how it gives me a good opportunity to connect with you people. In the process, I also gain and learn many things. So that is the background with which I am here. The part one has already been delivered to all of you, which was module 1 to 5, and we will be talking about the second part of this first paper, which is managing the training L&D process. The module 6 that we are talking about is designing effective training programs. I believe in having a lot of interactive sessions. Every trainer does, but owing to the limitations of the online delivery, sometimes I have to restrict all of you to share your comments, but I do want to have your feedback, and please feel free to write in the comment box also, or feel free to write me afterwards also if required, and definitely I would love to respond. Difficult to take introduction from all of you, and I've not been able to attend the full induction program that you had, but I believe during the course of these 5 sessions that we will have, I will get an opportunity to know many of you through your comments and through the discussions that we will have. So with this backdrop, we start. I apologize for being late. There was some medical emergency at the family, and that's how, right? So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Grateful to ISTD and the national president and the executive director for having me here. Let's start with the module, right? About designing effective training programs, and one of the dilemma that we always encounter as trainers and training facilitator is that what if we train them and they leave, and manager has to the CEO has this question always, and the training manager always says, what if we don't and they stay? Because the cost of training employee is much less as compared to cost of tolerating employees who are ill trained, or having people who are not productive and efficient. So that's what always the question and always the dilemma is when it comes to investing in employees, because you don't see a very direct relationship to the revenues, although now there are tools and trackers available where you can definitely judge the effectiveness of a training program and its impact on the profitability and its alignment with the strategies of the business. But at the same time, there are questions, there are doubts, and definitely we would like to explore this further, right? IT team, I'm not able to see the Zoom window. I'm only getting the presentation. I hope I am visible and audible.
Sir, you are.
Because I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
able to
Yes,
see
sir,
the
you're
participant.
audible.
Yeah.
So how
But
do I?
presentation is also visible very well.
Right. Yeah, because somehow I'm not able to see the participants. So I feel as if I am talking to a wall. So, anyways, let's see. Uh, Flow for next 60 minutes, which now cut short to maybe around 35-40 minutes. So we'll talk about role and importance of training methods. We'll talk about the classification and approaches of training methods, the traditional approach versus the experiential approach, the performance based approach, the cognitive or experiential methods, on the job, off the job methods, lecture and blended method, the games and simulations, in basket exercises, role plays, case method. So when we are talking about designing effective training programs, first of all we should be aware of what are the tools and techniques that are available to us, and selecting a suitable medium, excuse me, and selecting a suitable design of the program makes training program effective. Okay, so with that context and backdrop, let's try to explore. We'll skip this part. I generally do this quiz, and the idea is to understand from you what are the major challenges you face while deciding or designing appropriate training methods. But I'll not go into that QR code. But what we can do is that take 2 minutes, and maybe in the comments or in the chat, very quickly you can write 3 words that you feel are the major challenges. Don't write a sentence, only write 3 words, right, that you feel are the major challenges that you face while designing appropriate training programs or training methods. I'll give 2 minutes for that. I hope the question is understood.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So what I'll do is that I'll very quickly, just to save time, I'll keep reading the points that are coming up, and then we'll see that to what extent we are able to address these issues over the course of next few sessions. because these are most of the times generic issues. So definitely not related to this one session, but maybe related to overall training domain as such. So yes, engagement, uninterested participants, relatable examples, learning retention, ROI, knowing the audience, training needs, right? Scaling the program, seeing a visible and ROI measurement. I'll skip the repetitive ones. Attendance retention, appropriate content, location, visible outcome, unwillingness or lack of motivation of the participants, evaluation methods, which type of training will work for which type of participants. So that is the suitability, or the match between the audience and the content, training content, knowledge of the audience, ROI, objective, flow, aligning the objectives, understanding their level of understanding, trainees attention. Okay, let me tell you, this is also one of my way of checking the attendance. So how many of you are actively and how many of you are passively attending these sessions? So all those who are already awake will write something. So there are 90 participants. Let me have at least 90 comments. Okay, good. So, anyways, wonderful. Let's move ahead. Yeah. So, so I have taken note of what generally I do is that, since I do this survey and I need 10 minutes around for that. And once all of you list it down, I get a slide and a presentation of all the uh, the challenges that you face, and I take those challenges as the training expectations. So one learning from this small exercise is that it is very, very important, number one, to understand the training needs. Okay, whom we are training, why we are training. Okay, and after that, the first thing that is very important in the training process is to set the expectations. So let your participants also know that this is what they are expecting, this is what you are intending to deliver, and this is how you are going to match the expectations and the delivery, right? I taught marketing for many years, and there we always talk about service quality models. And when we talk about service quality, so since this is also a service that we are delivering, so when we talk about service quality, it is always very important to understand the gaps between the expectations and the delivery. And that is what service quality is all about. If you are able to, fill those gaps. So when you go to a typical dhaba, you have a different kind of expectation. When you go to a Taj group of hotel, you have a different kind of expectation, right? Both the places service is being delivered, but the expectations are different and the delivery is different. And what match is required is between the expectation and the delivery. Because when it comes to service delivery, there is no limit to excellence. You can always improve, you can always go to any extent. So training, what and why? Training is a structured process that equips employee with the skills and knowledge needed to perform effectively. It boosts productivity, innovation, and retention. A lot of organizations are doing different kinds of training, in-house, outbound, right? On the job, right, out of the job. So there are different ways and means of doing training. uh, so let's have a very quick look at some of the innovative methods of training that are possible. It is said that empires of future are the empires of the mind, Winston Churchill. So we are basically, working on the mind and the psychology of the people. Most of the times, the kind of training that training department or L&D head or L&D managers design are behavioral training program, right? Because if a technical program is to be done, a technical workshop is required, right? And that is done by a technical person, no doubt about it. Some of you might be from IT companies and you would be facilitating technical training programs also. But let me tell you that the technology part is 25-30%, because content is only 30% of the overall training experience. The remaining 70% still you need to manage in terms of what we discussed: training expectations, training need assessment, the suitability of training to the participants, their motivation, your delivery, a lot of things. So it is said that I hear and I forget, I see and I believe, I do and I understand. When we talk about a training program, it is very important that all training programs are very, very experiential and hands on in nature. Let them do something during the training. Okay. Now, every time you can't have computers, you can't take them to the shop floor. What we do as trainers is we create simulated environments. In management, in behavioral science, we use case studies. So we try to put the person who is being trained in the shoes of the protagonist, whosoever is part of that case study, and then what you would have done. So what we do is we are trying to create a simulated environment. But one bottom line: doing is very important. That enhances understanding to a great level, right? So when we talk about why, what kind of issues that you face, so I believe most of you will agree that all of us are facing today, these two three types of challenges. One is the change that we see in the world. What kind of change we are talking about? We are talking about change in technology. We are talking about change in the trainees or the learners, especially Gen Z, when we are talking about their learning orientation, their bite size span of attention, right? And we are living in a world which is full of competition. Okay. Now, to fight these two issues, training is required. If you look at it at a very broad level, these are the two major aims. I mean, why we are doing training and development changes. So, uh, change in the market. So, one car, one color, one model, that's it. That was offering. Today, when we talk about a car, so probably we would have around 20-25 companies. Every company has around 7-8 different offering, all 7-8 different product lines. In all product lines, they have 3-4 options these days. So standard engine, then petrol, diesel, CNG, LPG, battery, hybrid, and every car comes in 7-8 different colors and 7-8 different specs. Now if you all combine it, the entire uh, the basket or the choice available to a customer is, they have to choose between 1,000 odd cars and buy one. Now these are the changes, and that also reflects that there is lot of great amount of customization. For example, half of my family is in Europe, and my brother recently purchased a Tesla, and he said the car was not expensive. The software pack that we are supposed to purchase along with that had a lot of range. And the higher you go, the expensive it is. So the software is more expensive than the car. Okay, so that is what the changes in the market are. Challenges: we are still trading a very cautious path, just a depiction of that, because several of the challenges all of you listed, 25-30, I could read out. So yes, we are living in a world which is full of challenges, right? And I believe the training manager is the one who is in the front in this photograph. I hope all of you agree to that. You can relate to that situation, so you have to always walk the tightrope with your trainees in your hand. I mean, your responsibility and lot of baggage of the organization. And no doubt, it is a wonderful environment. You people feel that you are working with one of the topmost companies, so you have one of the best cultures. But your job role is like that only. So just you know attribute to all the trainers and the training heads of the organizations. And competition, when we talk about competition, it is like this. You feel that you have trained them, you have given them a parachute and let them go to the field, but when they go to the field, the shore is like that only. So this is what the world is. It is said that 16th century has been described as the age of muscle power. Okay, so there were kings fighting each other. Whosoever has a stronger army was the king, right? Then 18th century was money power. So those who will have a lot of money, right? Area of I mean era of colonism, where those who had monies, they acquired a lot of colonies throughout the globe, depleted their resources, built big factories in their own countries. So fine, those who had money, that was they were powerful, right? This century is knowledge power. So we now see, so chai walas becoming PMs, and we see normal, IIT Kharagpur guy leading the top corporation of the world. It is knowledge power. No money, no muscle, but the most powerful people in the world are business people, right? So knowledge is the ultimate aim, and all of you are the torch bearer of this knowledge economy, because you as well, myself, being teachers, being trainers, being training facilitators, coach, we are doing a very important job, because something that Chanakya did, we all are the modern world Chanakyas, because we are building kings, right? So effective training is delivering what the present and future demands, but the biggest dilemma of training is that no one is sure what the future will be, yet everyone works for the future goal of their firm. Okay, so it's a challenging task. We can only do some analytics, we can do only some kind of calculations, we can try to predict the future and prepare our task force. All of us are aware about the recent example uh, of Indigo. Some of you might have suffered also, right? So, if how do you analyze it from a training perspective? Do you think there was some gap? Some comments from three, four of you. Very quickly, you can introduce, and then you can speak up.
Hi, can I say
Yes,
something?
Yeah, please.
They have changed their policy, so employees are not happy. That's why they have decided to sit for the strike, which I
Okay.
have read.
Okay.
I
uh,
understand this is because of new labor law code
Mhm.
where it says that you cannot make employee work for more than limited hours. So more than 8 to 10 hours, you can't make them work extra. Whereas in Indigo, their pilots and ground staffs are working more than the limited hours,
Right.
and they did not take care of it earlier because they
Right.
thought they are the king, they are the giant, they have 60% of business. They did not listen to government's this thing, but they forgot that
Right.
they cannot fight
Yeah.
with government. So
Because
that's the case.
yeah. So I completely
I
agree
feel
with that.
basically it's
Yeah.
nothing but work-life balance is completely gone.
Right. Right. So,
Okay, sir, I would actually want to say something on this. I am
mm,
Kashi. I worked with Indigo Airlines for 12 years.
mhm,
So the loophole, what I feel out here is the government introducing a new rule and the labor law and the FDTL, the flight duty time limitation, was in favor of the employees. Now,
mhm.
when it was in the favor of employees, the management didn't anticipate the IROPS challenges, that's the fog and things like that. So then everything cooked up to this.
Right, right. So, when I analyzed it, I completely understood. Government changed the norm. They might have done it at the last moment, although it doesn't happen. There is
Yep.
always a stakeholder consultation that happens.
So
before
these are
introducing.
problem statement, but I think from a trainer point, it is like situational handling,
Yes,
anticipation of what the challenges are. So if I look at the trainer, these are the problem statement which we have put in. But as a
right.
trainer, I need to have the answer to this. This is, I think, more of anticipation of the emergency and
Yeah.
change management and situation handling.
So exactly that is what I wanted, understanding it from a L&D head or a trainer's perspective, if you look at it. So, and also at a strategic level. So what I here believe is that, uh, you know, I was talking about everyone works for future of the organization, but no one knows what the future will be, right? And that's where the job of L&D head or the trainers is, that to what extent you are able to predict the future changes in the economy, changes in the industry. Yeah, so that is what is very much required. Just give me a minute, let me just put this curtain on, just a minute. Yeah, please go ahead. Anyone else? Training perspective, what happened, why it happened, we know about it, right? Let's try to understand it from trainer's perspective, or the training or L&D head. I mean, I'm not sure, some of you might be working with Indigo. If you were there as training head of
No,
Indigo.
I'm not. Anyhow, basically the scheduling, planning, um, the internal. That is also an issue. The
So
scheduling of the
crisis
planes, arrival,
crisis
dispatch time,
management
and
is
all.
something which also need to be taught, you know right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
Sonali.
Yeah.
May I?
Yeah, Sonali.
So, good morning to everyone. And this, I think, can be seen in two aspects as a training head or a L&D head person. One is when you are there as a trainer head in the company, what you can anticipate. So, if the laws were already passed in January 2024 and if they have not been implemented, what you can do or what you could have done to enforce that or make the authorities aware of it. And now
Mhm.
that it has happened, what you can do, as we said, stress management or communication trainings, and filling those gaps, that is what is important, because once something has happened, we can't keep saying it should have not been done and all those.
Right,
Ground
right, right.
staff is facing a lot of issues now, so
Mm-hmm. Very good. So I believe, we will have more discussion. One assignment that I would like to leave all of you with is, right, and it is not a graded assignment. The assignments are different to you, but and as part of our sessions in next 5 sessions or so, we would like to focus upon that. Assume you are the L&D head. What has happened. Thing of the past. What will be your strategy now? As L&D head of this organization, what kind of training you would like to do, what lessons you would have learned, how you would like to percolate that. You still need to keep morale of your employees high, right? Maybe we cannot say that, but uh, the company and the employees are talk of the town now, right? And the situation has put you in a dilemma, and you are kind of uh, laughing stock. Sorry to say that, but that's what the problem is. Now, whatever has happened, whose fault? Fine, DGCA will summon the CEO. CEO will take the responsibility, but end of the day, it is the organization and the brand that suffers. What your strategy would be? What kind of training programs you would like to design? So if some of you can come up with those, it will be a live good case studies. And throughout our sessions, when we'll take up different topics at appropriate time, I'll give some of you the opportunity to share your perspective. So keep that plan ready with you by next Sunday. Yeah, Ruchira, last point from you.
Sir,
Here, I just want to say why we are taking in a negative direction. Like if government has taken some changes, so we should take in that way. Like there would be more employment. Like they have reduced the hours, the working hours of the pilots. So there would be more employment, more training platform will be open. So in this way,
Right.
we can think because government will never think against the like
So that's
the
what I'm saying. One thing that what I understand, and to the extent I understand this domain and sector, is that most of the employees are trained internationally.
yes.
Most of the pilots, right, the flight staff, the ground staff, most of them are trained nationally and internationally. And when they had their pilot training, and they would have flown internationally, they have worked in a culture and an environment and the norms that government is now trying to enforce in the country, right?
Mm,
So as employees, in fact, they were used to it.
okay.
The CEO is an expat. He has worked in international standards, right? So was very much aware of what the international standards or what are the norms are, and probably those similar kind of norms and standards we are trying to enforce. Okay, let's move ahead. It's a long discussion, but quickly, my point was, effective training is delivering what the present and future demands, and predicting the future is difficult, but learning from the mistakes is possible. There are a lot of innovative methods that are coming up: image cases, sequenced illustrations, video cases, dotmocracy, participatory large group brainstorming and decision making. I mean, something that we did, simulation, imitation of the real world simulation. Since I got a simulated situation as a case, I've given it to you. We'll have discussion on that. There can be participatory photo novels, blog posts and emails, digital tools like Kahoot, or the Mentimeter quiz that I introduced in the beginning, networked learning, movies and films, debates, group discussions, fishbowl. There are methods. What are the focus of these training programs? As I said, apart from technical training, if we talk about, then the focus primarily is on communication skills. Uh, I happen to teach marketing communications also, and advertising and PR also. So I find this to be a communication failure also. What happened, what went wrong, whatever it is, but how it is communicated makes a lot of difference, right? So there could have been anticipation, once you will cancel the flight, whatever the reason was, but there will, you cannot leave your customers in lurch, in your fight with the system or with the government or with the DGC, whatever it is. So that communication should have been proper in advance. Plan B should have been ready. So we look at it that the focus is also on personality improvement and personality development. That's what leadership is all about, right? And the knowledge and skill sets which comes where the technical or the domain skills will come, right? There was a study done by Harvard long back of around 2000 successful managers, and then they tried to understand that what are the skills of effective leaders or managers. I mean, what makes them successful? And it was found that in terms of skills, verbal communication, including listening, managing time and stress, managing individual decisions. As a leader, you have to decide each and every point of time. I lead a university where I have more than 250 faculty members, 500 plus support staff member, 5,000 plus students. 18 schools. I have 35 directors directly reporting to me. What I realize in my leadership role is that every moment the buck stops at you, and you are the one who has to take the decisions. And these decisions will have a lot of bearing on your brand, on your system, on your processes, on your customers, right? In our case, the students. So we are also a service provider for that matter. So recognizing, defining, solving problems. So anticipating the problems in advance is an essential skill. You know, something is brewing up
It's
among
called predictive.
yeah. So when sometimes in Hindi we call it ना कि जहाँ आग लगती है वहीं धुआं उठता है. तो वो धुआं उठने का और वो आग का वेट नहीं करना है, स्पार्क भी आ रहा है, तो वी हैव टू चेक. So if something is brewing up, we should be able to anticipate, predict, and definitely take some proactive actions. Then motivating and influencing others, art of delegating, how you delegate to get your work done. You alone cannot do everything. Setting goals and articulating a vision, self-awareness. They know their capabilities, their challenges, team building, and managing conflict. So what I realized over a period of time, I've designed training programs on many of these aspects. I mean, that covers my gamut of training, I'll say, being a behavioral trainer. I feel these are the areas that many of you can address. So different types of training, onboarding, you all are aware, orientation training as we call it, technical or hard skills training, like working on a specific softwares or AWS or Azure cloud or things like that. Soft skills trainings, the purpose is enhancing interpersonal skills, very important in businesses where there is a direct customer interface. Product or service training, like Apple will do while launching a new product. Reskilling or upskilling program, because different versions will keep on coming. So you did a training on a particular cloud, and now the advanced version has come, advanced platform has come. So there are advancements, data science. So fine, you started with Python, today you have all inclusion of Databricks, AI, and everything. So those things happen. Methods of training on the job, advanced, rightly, directly on the shop floor. Disadvantages, you can't put a trainee on the shop floor. Your productivity will suffer, your production will suffer, the floor manager may not allow at all, right? So those are the pros and cons. Then what you do is then you take them to the classroom, try to create a structured learning environment, but there is limited flexibility also. Okay. uh, then you move to e-learning or online modules, or create a LMS platform. And the disadvantage is that limited interaction and engagement. So out of 90, I could see that hardly 30 have written down. So there are limitations, no doubt about it. Role playing is a good way that you can do, improves problem solving, decision making. Give them a situation, the one that I have given to you. You are the L&D head. What will be your training calendar? What your training calendar will look like for next 1 year? You can't change behavior, you can't change situation in a day's time with 5 days of training. I understand that will not happen. What will be your long term plan? How you will make your organization resilient to such kind of situations, because such situations may come up in future also. Mentoring and coaching is an important method that has come up recently. Typically for top level management, they believe more in mentoring and coaching. So that happens. Simulation based trainings. So we have now good AR VR tools available where we can do a lot of simulations. Workshop and seminar based trainings. So these are generally for large groups, 100 200 participants, that we can have. Video based trainings. Cross training is to increase workforce flexibility, putting job rotation, on the job, training one employee in the other aspect, the other employee in the other aspect. To some extent, what I could gather from the news and all, that they had good number of pilots, but the shortage was primarily of the supporting crew. So have you kind of multi-skilled your people? Was it possible to put some ground staff to that position, so that at least the flights take off right after the ground duties are concerned? So there is a lot of crisis management, no doubt about it. Not always possible, but end of the day, the technical job is more of the pilots. The other job, if cross training was done, probably was possible to be handed over and distributed. Case study method, develop critical thinking and decision making skills. Right, there are lot of assumptions when we take up a case study, not fully reflect complex realities, but it's a wonderful tool. I've been in management education, done a special course from IIM Ahmedabad, also taught at 3 foreign universities. Also, we use case method extensively. Gamification is coming up in a big way now, where you convert the training content into games and exercises and let people compete with each other. We will try to have some of it in next few sessions. Peer-to-peer learning advantages, that especially when we have a group discussion. So typically in a case also we do that there is a group of 5-6 people, and then this group work on a particular problem from a particular angle. Mobile app-based learnings happening, proved to be wonderful for learning languages, especially, or cross-cultural communication, especially those people who work with remote teams. So this mobile apps work very well. Micro learning is bite-sized content. We talked about it. A lot of people are using now WhatsApp as a learning tool. Adaptive learning is personalize the learning experience, right? So you take up a group, you design a program, you see their feedback, you modify the content. So that is what you do. Due to paucity of time, I will not do this exercise also, but very quickly, some of the words that you are able to identify in this crossword puzzle, and avoid the 3-letter words. I mean, so the, and, this.
Training,
Good,
cognitive,
good,
development,
Experience.
Enter.
good. Right, right, right.
Method,
Wonderful.
development,
Interaction.
Mhm.
Development.
Good. So this type of crossword puzzle are good engagement tools, and in next session I'll teach you how you can do it. How can you can create these kind of customized puzzles for your training programs, using Excel as well as AI. So that's it for the day. The summary is that learn each day, let knowledge grow, step by steps your skills will show. So this chat GPT has said that learners who pace themselves regularly practice. I mean, in economic times, you get a chat GPT shairi these days. That's it from my side for the day. Sorry, I rushed through a lot of things. I'll try to cover up in the next session. Today, there was some problem at my end where I got late for the session.
Okay, so this is later
thank you so
sometime.
much, sir. It's great session.
Differentiate between mentoring and coaching, sir. Just later. Keep it
Sure,
here. Next time we'll see.
sure. Right. So coaching is more structured, right? Coaching is strictly one to one. But mentoring, you can have a group of 10-15 mentees, and they may come and ask whenever they have a problem. But in coaching, you train them and you coach them on what is to be done. So we'll have more
Okay,
discussion.
sir. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Absolute
Thank you,
pleasure.